Hey guys, Chris Johnson here with Chris Johnson Leadership. And today I've got one of my clients on here with us today, and he really wanted to do this for your benefit. So this ain't about me per se, it's about how you can grow your company and some things you can implement to change the rest of your life. And this is Adam Moore. So Adam, introduce yourself, tell us what you do, where you're from, and let's get into it.
Yeah, so my name is Adam Moore. I own a company called Mosquito Hunters. We are a pest control company here in Texas. We're just about an hour north of Dallas.
Cool deal. So you've been with me for a couple years now, and there's a lot of things have happened over the last couple years. So walk us back through what your business looked like before you met me. At the lighting launch back in what 24 was it or
Yep.
23? Yeah,
Mhm.
24. So how did your business look then? What were some things you were struggling with?
Well, back then, whenever I got with you, we were a starving business. We were a dying business. The stress was high. The money was non-existent. Knowing if we were going to be able to make payroll whenever I met you, was a real thing on whether or not we were going to be able to even keep the few employees we had. So we really didn't have a clear path, a clear structure forward. Really just hanging on by the seat of our pants at that time. So it was definitely an intense moment in our business and personal lives, and the stress was high, and it was yeah, it was something else. It's not a place I care to be again.
Amen. I've been there too. Yeah, it's not a fun place to be. So, what had you ever heard about business coaching before you met me that weekend? And then, second question, what made you even want to yoke up with us and take a journey and take a ride with a coach and mentor in your life? What even possessed you to do that?
Yeah, so I've never heard of or really dove into the world of business coach. As a matter of fact, the conference, whenever we were there, whenever we were talking about business coaches, my first thought was, you know, I thought it was kind of dumb. I mean, to be honest, that's first thought. Who needs to wake up and have somebody else motivate them? I don't need motivation,
Right.
right? Who needs these things? I mean, if you need those things, then in my opinion, you were just going to fail anyways. And here I am thinking this while I'm running a failing business,
Right. Is
right?
that not ironic?
Is that not ironic, right? But I just thought it was the dumbest thing. Who would need, that motivation from somebody? If you can't self motivate yourself, then you don't need to be where you're at anyways. Definitely had a lack of understanding on the full spectrum that a business coach brought to the table, because obviously it's a lot more than waking up and just having somebody motivate you. But that was my narrow-minded opinion about it at the time. Um, of course, I was a struggling business, so I was definitely looking for something. I didn't know what it was that would help us get out of this hole that we were in. I mean, I was just going to do it myself, but definitely looking for something in the back of my mind.
Hmm.
And of course, that's whenever I met you, heard you speak, and there was just a truth to you. There was an honesty, a light about you that was very difficult to explain at the time. And I had my wife with me, which really made me want to do something to move forward at the time. I really had my family there, and we were talking business. It was kind of everything coming together, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna hire you. I'm sure you remember that. All right, let's do it. Shake hands. I think we were at the Dolly
We
uh,
were we were at the
whenever we
Dixie
shook hands, like the
Stampede.
gift store, right? We were in the gift store part, and
Yeah.
And I finally just, we're doing it. I didn't even know if I was going to make payroll at the time. And
Mm.
here I am taking on this extra expense. But, fortunately, the good Lord spoke to me the next morning, said, hey, this is the direction that you need to go. It was clear as day. So I definitely had some good backing behind me on that decision. And that's what got me started, and that's where we were at as a business at the time, financially and struggling.
So one of the questions I want to really delve into, and if you're still watching this interview, this next little bit right here is probably going to be the bit that transforms your mind, okay? Because see, hiring a business coach is not the answer to all. It's not a cure all. It's not a fix all. Because just because you have someone in your corner that's relaying data to you in a direction for you to go to make it less painful in the future, that in no way, please hear me, that in no way makes that transition from where you are to where you want to go any less painful. Okay, is that a fair statement, Adam? Is there a lot of pain in transforming into a new person to go into areas that are uncomfortable?
Oh yeah, I mean, you will pass through mental barriers, societal barriers, barriers that were just driven into you from a young mindset as a kid to the workforce that you did before. I mean, it's very it's life changing to say the least, but it is massively changing, which change can be very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people have the uh, preconceived notion that if I hire a coach, my life instantly gets better. And that's not true. Most of the time, it's going to get significantly worse for the first 4 to 6 months because you are having to do things you've never done before. You're having to think in ways you've never thought before, and it's very uncomfortable. It's not like a pleasant experience to go from normal complacency to intentional focus force. That's a whole new world. And, it's like I tell a lot of my clients, I just signed on a new client last week, one of the largest clients we've ever signed on. And said, so what guarantees do we get? I said, I don't know. It's up to you. Like you have to do the stuff. I don't do the work for you. So I don't know how dedicated you're going to be because I've had a lot of people, and you can attest to this being in our group, they'll sign up for coaching and it's like signing up for the gym. And it's all cool and fun and it's real enticing until the first time it hurts. And then they don't want to go forward with the pain to get the progress and the dream. So they stop and they wash out and then they say coaching didn't work. So how many times have you ever wanted to quit?
Probably too many. I'm sure, probably way too many. I mean, and yeah, and that's a great point that you put in there. It's still a world of action for the business owner, right? You're not hiring somebody to do the work for you. You're not coming over here and physically, doing the changes. You're hiring a business coach for mindset shift, for a shift of success, for model changes, for advice. It's all on you to act on that. And if you are not ready to act and you are not ready to move, then yeah, maybe it won't do you a whole lot of good.
Yeah,
But if
save your
you're
money.
really if you're really ready for a change, if you're really ready to get outside your comfort zone, if you're really ready to move forward with somebody that knows what they're talking about, because probably by the time that you're getting hired, not that probably a time that business owner or that business is probably not doing too well.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's time for a change anyways, right? And so, yeah, you better be ready for some change.
Amen. That's super cool. So we know where you were, and we know hiring a coach is not like the magic pill, right? There's no silver bullet to fixing a business. It's work. So walk us over the last couple years and kind of the transformations that have taken place. And I'm just going to let you just kind of have the floor for a while and walk us through from where you were. You can even walk us through getting your first truck. I know that was an epic moment where we sat in the airport and just cried and just celebrated the win. What an epic win that was. And then walk us into how you've actually morphed this year into like this flowers blossoming thing, and walk us through all that whole journey.
Okay. So I'm going to walk you and everybody listening through this through financial and percentage facts. It's going to be quick, but words are cheap. Feelings come and go, but numbers stay forever.
Yeah, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. So I'm going to do I wrote down a quick, easy thing to go over to kind of let everybody know the path that we're going financially. So whenever we started with you, Chris, year to date in 2024, so that would be January 1st to now in 2024. Okay, this is the very beginning of our genesis. I was sitting in this chair in this office right now 2 years ago at negative $37,000 for the year. For the year, just 3 months, I was negative $37,000. That is a negative 89.4% is where I was sitting at for the year. Negative. That's a 89.4, about 90%. Let's just say 90%. I'll give you guys even easy numbers. 90% of gross profits from goods sold. So I was down 90% from what we had sold to what we were spending from this time, which is and then last year we went from 37,000 to negative 32,000 and a negative 60%. So we're moving a little bit.
All right, now let me ask you a question in that transition, because I know a lot of people are like, man, that's not a lot of increase. What do you think was some of the biggest barriers that kept you from getting the increase that you should have got?
Well, you're about to see that barrier overtaken. It was myself.
Okay.
That's simple. I could write a book over last year. I was not right sized in my company. I was oversized. I was not watching my numbers the way that I should have been. I was not being proactive on a positive budget. I was being active on a negative budget. Just, a lot of things that we were able to self-reflect on. So you could tell we were definitely doing better. We were doing a little better. But we weren't really, I wasn't there yet. My mind, right. My transformation and my mindset just wasn't there yet. But
I wanted people to pick up on that. You've walked with me the whole year, right? And you were still silently struggling with things and not implementing to the level. And as a coach, that it's like, man, what can I do to help him? How can I help him? But guys, if you are not willing to just transform, man, there's no coach on earth that can make you do it. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah.
Now walk into the next part of it.
All right. So this is where I come bearing the good news. After reflection of last season, because our company, there has not been a lot of changes. And that's why I can tell you that last year numbers was us, was me, because we have made some changes. We did move some things, but for the most part, all we did was stay stagnant because of the changes that you helped us make, and just started making the right decisions, started moving forward on the right foot. So this time last year, we're negative 32,000, like I just said, and we were negative 60% net income. Right now, for the first time ever, we're 12,000 positive for the year. And woohoo, that's a big difference. That's a what, 32, 42, $44,000 difference from negative to positive. So it's the first time that we have ever, since the conception of our company, working off a positive budget.
In the first 3 months
which is
of
an
the year.
instant mind shift right there anyways. We're positive 17% of the year. And, whenever we started hiring you, we were negative 90% gross profit from goods. We are now positive 58%, negative 90 to positive 58%. Those are just factual numbers. That's a huge shift.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost 100%.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? An 80% almost difference on the change of numbers and stats. So, and it's important to understand that we are a seasonal business. So there's a lot of expenses that occur during the off season, especially January, February, that we are incurring when our real money starts flowing.
Yeah.
Started flowing last month. So to become positive within really the first month of full kickoff of our seasonal business, we were positive $17,000 last month, which was so much that it paid everything off in the negative part of the off season, instantly put us in the positive for the year. And so now we're seeing numbers that we've never even seen before. And we're in position now financially that we're actually going to have a team meeting for the first time in 6 years and it's not $1 million yet, but you can see we're getting there pretty quick. I mean, once it goes, it goes. Once the volcano erupts, it erupts. And that's the great thing about having available positive finances. And so we'll have our first meeting on what to do with the positive money. So we're no longer operating off of debt and negative. We get to say, hey, we have this extra money. We're going to put this amount for profit in the company, nest egg. We're going to put this amount we're going to pay off one of our bands, which is going to save us $5, $6, $7, about $800 a month.
Yeah.
We won't have to pay for, and so we're going to be able to start paying stuff off. And so that trickle effect is now finally happening. But that's pretty big numbers right there if you're paying attention.
It is. So for everybody listening on the call, for those still watching this podcast and they're still intrigued, all right, we understand that you went from a negative to a positive, but what I want you to give the audience listening, because there's pressure washing companies on here that are super seasonal. There's HVAC companies going to be watching this, roofers, all kind of home service companies. What are one or two things that you did this year that you hadn't implemented in the prior years? Even though you knew to do it, you didn't do it. What did you do this year different that they can take away from this and say, man, I'm going to do that?
We set financial goals.
Okay, good.
That was not over promising and under delivering. So the team was motivated and we met the goals that we knew were within grasp and we're going to push the company forward. We forced all of our customer base into the value of what we are really worth on price range. We've made a complete increase in pricing, because we know what we're worth now, and we're probably worth even more, and we're getting there. So we made a total price change shift on that. Everybody is now on board. You can stay, you can go, but we're moving forward.
I love that. I love that. And you talk about price increasing. Walk us through where you were mentally on pricing when you met me versus where you are now. Give us that before and after on the mindset shift it takes.
Yeah, it's funny because before it was painful to think the way that you think. It was very painful for me. Uh, Now it's very painful for me to look back and remember the way I thought.
Is that not epic? Is that not mind blowing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so you're going to take me back to a dark place, Chris.
That's okay, but there's a lot of people that live there. Like they're living there now and charging really cheap prices because they think they have to get work, and help them understand that.
Well, we get so caught up in the rat race, the race to the bottom of the barrel. We're all pretty, familiar with that, and you just get drugged down in that. You start there. We all start there,
Yep.
and then somebody else is going to go cheaper, and it's just like you're just trying to get drugged down. You're caught up in this mindset over here, and it's not about the value of what you're worth. It's not about the quality of what you're giving. You're caught up in society's standard main mindset, high volume, low profit, and just really devaluing your service. And so, of course, that's where I was at. You can give away stuff all day long and not even realize it. And since then, as I have, and really we have together, because you were sitting in the car next to me whenever we kind of made the beginning of the mind shift, realizing, you can't have something if you don't ask for it, right? I mean, you'll never have it. As a matter of fact, I still practice every time I go to a customer, and I'm just like, hey, if you'll just pay me $1 million up front, I'll take care of you for life.
Yep.
It's funny. They think it's funny, but I also do that in practice because you never know. I'm never going to get it if I don't ask for it, right? Now, generally, it's a laughing topic, right? We're like, ha ha ha. Okay, but that's literally why I say that now is to, what if I don't ask? How are you going to receive?
Oh man, how epic would it be for somebody to say, "Okay, cool. Who do I make the check out to?"
Yeah.
What?
Right?
I mean, could it happen? Yes, but you'll never have it happen if you don't just throw that out there. So I love it, man. I love it. Keep going. That was epic.
Yep. So we have a lifetime golden ticket, pest control ticket, and $1 million.
I love it.
So, whenever I first asked, it wasn't even what I would ask now. I ask more now, but it was a lot to me then. This was my old prices. This was, I'm 56% higher now than I was whenever I brought you on my pricing. And so, boy, I was ready for the no. I was ready for the, you are just ripping me off. You're making $1 million. You're taking me to the bank. That just disgusting look that I was going to get back in return. Just all these barriers that were just going to happen. And I asked, and I received, and got signed this customer up for this higher value ticket. And then so I kept on asking, and then I kept asking, and then last year we became the most expensive company for mosquito control by a long shot.
Amen.
And I asked, still was a little just instant barrier. We just have a hard time getting over those mental lifetime barrier buildups. And it was so ridiculous, Chris, because I asked for $5 less a month than what I should have asked for what my numbers dictated I should have asked for. And I still went $5 cheaper. I mean, who cares about $5, right? But I did. And that just shows to say, the barriers that we have to overcome. And I asked for $5 cheaper. And I mean, it was even then the most expensive. And the customer looked at me Not bad. That's really not bad at all. And I'm like, gosh darn it, why didn't I ask for an extra $5? I mean, what is wrong with me? But definitely go through. You can't receive if you don't ask. And really asking, if you ask it, yeah, that will simply change your mindset because you'll start receiving and understanding what your value really is worth.
And I love that. So I hope everybody on the call, I hope you're still listening and I hope you're taking this in. You will always stay running the hamster wheel if you don't increase your pricing. Increasing your pricing is one of the main reasons he is now a net positive number in the first 3 months of 26. Last year, he was still struggling mentally to overcome that barrier. He had raised them a little, and I was like, raise them more, raise them more. No, Chris, no, God, I can't do it. But now he's done it. He's doing it now. And now that you're getting the wins with a super transformed pricing structure, y'all heard what he said. Looking back, now he can't believe that he ever charged what he used to charge. Guys, I was that way. I remember in 2018, we were washing houses for $80. Literally, for an hour and a half to 2 hours, we were washing houses for $80. My most expensive house at that time was $175. Forward 2020, my minimum price was $250 because I got a coach in my life that started telling me things to do different. By 2023, we were over $2,032 average ticket on house washing. We were one of the most expensive cleaning companies in the country. And that did not happen by accident. What Adam is talking about does not happen by accident. It's intentional, deliberate change that requires a whole nother mindset. It requires fortitude to push through when customers want to think you're crazy and when you don't get all the customers you once had because they're not going to pay the advanced price, the premium pricing. That's okay. You're going to be okay. Adam, are they going to be okay?
They're probably going to be better than okay.
Okay, good. I wanted you to say that, not me.
They
Because
will,
everybody
they will
knows
be
I
better
say
than
it,
okay.
but
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted you to say it, right? Guys, you're going to win so much bigger if you just apply the simple things we've talked about today on this call. This hadn't been a long interview, hadn't been a real in-depth interview, but it's been an interview that gives you enough nuggets that you need to chew on. And if you will chew them up and let them add nutrients to your life, you will be better off. I promise you will. No matter what industry you're in, you can raise your prices. You can change your mindset. You can hire a business coach, whether me or somebody else. Just get a coach and get somebody speaking into your life the beliefs that you're lacking right now so that you have something to grab onto. I'll never forget riding in the truck with you, Adam, and we were going down from the airport back to your house. And you looked at me and you said, man, thank you for letting me borrow your belief until I had my own. I was like, what? That's powerful. Guys, you need somebody believing in you until you have the ability to believe in yourself. Amen. And Adam borrowed my belief. He's like, dude, you believed in me way more than I did. Yeah, because I know you can make it. You're a hero. Everybody watching this video is a hero. You're a hero. And usually heroes need somebody else to believe in them before they believe it. So as we finish up the call and really, what is the one thing you would give somebody at the end of this call that if they're looking for a business coach, what's the one thing that you could tell them about me, about Chris Johnson, about what we do and our business, to help them make a decision?
Well, Boy, just one, huh? That's
Well,
rough.
you can do whatever you want.
You gotta it's kind of, if you're a religious man, it's kind of like you got to take your first step in faith first. You got to just do it. That's just the reality of it. Action speaks. Anything else does not. But the thing about Chris is he's going to believe in you. Like you said, he is there for you. He's not there for himself. He's there for your family. He's there for your business. And, I have a pretty good, let's see, just BS meter. Let's say that. And never once have I ever detected a bit of selfishness, from you, Chris. Never once have I ever seen or thought that you're out in it for yourself. You got a true passion in this. You have a true strive to see other people succeed. That is your reward. So that's very powerful. And to have somebody like that behind you and in your corner is just it's not replaceable. So,
Amen.
I would definitely stick with you for a very long time.
Well, praise the Lord, man. You've been a blessing. Your family's a blessing. Can't wait to get you back here to Myrtle Beach this year. We're going to do another conference this year with our clients, probably an exclusive conference just with people that are on our team that are in our program. I can't wait to get you back here. And hey, if you want to come out to the retreat, you got to be in the program. Like, you got to get in. And you actually got to start winning at a whole level that you've never even thought you could. And then you can just come to this retreat. It's going to be epic. But more to come on that, Adam. We'll talk about that a little
Sounds
more.
good. Yep.
I'm trying to build up something a little unique and a little cool. So yeah. But man, thank you so much, Adam. And guys, if you're anywhere near Denton, Texas, Dallas, Texas, like, call Adam Moore, man, with Mosquito Hunters. I know there's multiple ones. But look up the one in Denison, Texas, not Denton. Denison, Texas. Look up Mosquito Hunters. And if you have a home anywhere near there, give him a call and let his team come out and give you one of the best experiences with an exterior mosquito pest control company. They do interior too, right?
Yeah, we do it all.
So if you have pests at all, rodents, groundhogs, hornets in the tree, man, he can help you with all that. They also do termite treatments. Man, he kind of does it all with pest control. Give him a call. Support your local people, your local home service people that are trying to support you. And hey, thank you so much, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and may God richly bless you.